Welcome to Gaming Fin, your channel for everything related to the gaming industry and the financial markets, and welcome to a new video. So today, my friends, we have to talk about the British gaming company Frontier Development PLC. Frontier Development PLC. Oh my god, and here you have this beautiful chart, my friends. Look at this beautiful chart. So head and shoulders, nah. I mean, just look at it. So oh god. So company went public in 2013 and now 2023. So you can say that we in 10 years we had a fulminant top, and we are around about where we stand, let's say like in 2014, so around about there. So but what is wrong with this company? So we're going to have a deeper dive into this company, especially we're going to check out some of their games on Steam, and we're going to have a look at their PowerPoint presentation. So first some metrics, some numbers. So PE ratio at the moment 7.81. Wow, now you could say it's a value company. Is it really a value company? We will find out. Market cap 133 million British pounds. So guys, I mean 133 million British pound, that's a micro cap. This is the micro cap, so it's really small company now. So obviously they lost a lot from the top. Let's say here's the top. From the top to now they lost like 89-90%. So also disclaimer, my friends, as you know, I am invested actually in this company. So I started buying in this company in August. So beginning of August, my first order was executed at 490, and then I had another order for 416, and now we stand at 338. So also little disclaimer, I have an order here at round about 300 something in this part. So why I'm going to have this order also here in this video. So this is not financial advice. I'm a YouTuber, retail investor, and guys, you have to make your own research, because most probably you would have bought the stock here at 3,300 British pounds, and then you would have lost all your money. So never listen to any YouTubers, my friends. So very important. So let's have a very quick look here at the income statement. So that's always good to have a first view, but of course those numbers are a little bit old, so therefore we have to also then check out their PowerPoint presentation with the fiscal year 23 interim financial results. So those are the latest results that I found for the period of 1st June to the 30th of November, respective January 23. But here is always a good starting point. Let's see, my friend. So annual income statement. So I like a new metric I like is the net profit margin. So on the net profit, we look what's the margin is. So 8.44 is actually a little bit low, and if you compare them to 2021, they had a net profit margin of 23, and in 22 also, or 21 around about, and then in 2019 20, and then in 2018 a net profit margin of 10. So we have in 2022 the lowest net profit margin they had all the time. If you look just at the revenues, we see 114 million in 22, and then 90 million in 21, and in 20 76 million. So in 2019 they had 89, but they had a revenue growth. Operating expenses grew obviously as well. So but the net income here, the yellow part, so the net income was falling. So in 2022 9.63 million, that's not good. So because the year before they had like the double, and then 16 million in 2020 already. EBITDA, so earnings before interest, taxes, and deductions, so 18 here in 22 12 million, or 13 million better said, so 21 in 21. So EBITDA also not that bad, but effective tax rate in 22, so minus 919%. So probably this relates to some acquisition that they made. So if we look at the balance sheet always, there we see return on capital, The return on capital was 4%, and it was 9.74% in 21, and in 20 it was 11%, and then in 19 it was around about 19%, and then in 2018 again 4%. So again 2022 was probably not a very good year. And then if we actually look then here at the cash flow, of the overall cash flow, we see again the net income. We have again the same numbers. I think it's the same. And there is net, yeah, you can see net income was here also going down. So going down massively, going down. Net change in cash here. Here you see we are now in the minus when it comes to cash. So I think this is also related to some acquisition that they made. So, and then if we look at the chart, so again, if you look now on the today alone, 5.65% down. And then if you look on the last 5 days, we see almost 15% down. And if you look at the last month, it goes really straight down from 600 pence, I think you say at the British Stock Exchange. 600 pence is then £6 and 42%. And in 6 months, this is the 6 months chart. So you would say, oh yeah, they were coming nicely back. And then in July 2023, they dropped like a stone, and we're still falling. So I honestly, I didn't expect actually this fall to be so long and so steep. So I bought a little bit around about here. So I thought this would be a nice support line, or a place where people have their stop losses, because when people have their stop losses there, I always think it's a good point actually to get in, because then the retail investor, I'm myself retail investor, but the retail investor tend to put their stop losses at places that are very obvious, and institutionals mostly buying at those points. Therefore you see sometimes really the turnarounds, and also if you put a Fibonacci retracement over it, my God, sometimes it fits so well. So, and if we look here at the 1 year chart, you see we're even at 1,600 zlotys, not zlotys, British pound. So British pound almost like zlotys, just kidding. And then we already had this massive crash in January. We already had a 50% crash, and now it just continues to crash. I mean, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. So, I mean, look, in 2018 there was already a crash from a crash of like 57%. Probably a lot of investors lost a lot of money, and then it gets brought up in the whole stay-at-home crisis or craziness. And since then it went crazily down. So let's have a look on Steam, what games they are offering. Actually decent games. We have Formula 1 Manager, which is mixed reviews, 607 reviews. That's not so much. This could be actually rated much better. Then we have a game called Stranded Alien Door, 4,800 reviews. Yes. Sorry guys, going to cut this. And then we have we already have here 2,732 people online, but only mixed reviews. So that's a little bit sad. So what we want to see is actually not it's not necessary, it doesn't need like always a overwhelming positive reviews for a company to be successful. What is more important, that you have a lot of people that bought this game, so you have a lot of followers, and that you have an all-time peak that is pretty high. So that's more important. Then we have the Western Front, which is mostly positive, 1,461, and then Formula 1 Manager 2,022, and I think also mostly positive, but I think there was some backlash because they stopped the development in order to create a Formula 1 Manager 23. And Chaos Gate, that's a very interesting title, I think we have to highlight here. And then, I forgot Deliver Us Mars, so this was also not received so extremely well, but now it stands at very positive. That's a very good metric. So I played the previous title of Deliver Us Mars, it's called Deliver Us Moon, so but they are publishing here with the Frontier Foundry. Frontier Foundry is their publishing organ, so but they stopped this. So very important. They stopped with publishing games, which is kind of sad, because I mean some games were very interesting. And also, Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Demon Hunters was also by the Frontier Foundry. So 627 people still online. So Warhammer 40k turn-based strategy game. So huge strategy game. So really something for the specialists. I personally do not really play those strategy games, but I play, for example, the Jurassic World Evolution I liked. I also have I don't have Planet Zoo, but that's a nice game. Jurassic World Evolution, the first one, I think I got even a review key for free back in the days. Planet Coaster, I think I have as well. And then, of course, Elite Dangerous. So that's their game. So that's their game. So, and 68,000 Frontier development. So they, in my opinion, they have to go back and develop some nice new Elite Dangerous 2, a new title in this Elite Dangerous world, again with VR for players. But also with Starfield now coming out, I see a lot of potential if they would now release one of those new Elite Dangerous game. I think I have this myself. So, and you can even buy some cool items for like crazy amount of money. So everyone likes buying those tiny items for so much money. No, of course not. So Frontier Development, if we go on the Wikipedia article, I'm just to give you an overview of the games published under the Frontier Foundry label, and here that's all the games that they developed themselves. And here is then on the 14th of June 2023, it was announced that a review into the performance of Frontier Foundry concluded to cease all future third-party publishing efforts due to disappointing financial performance, with most games releasing under the label failing to become profitable within 1 year of release. So they were actually not making money with their Foundry publishing arm of their company. It was stated that games already released would continue to be supported, but no further games would release under the label. Instead, future funding that was to be allocated for the purpose would be diverted to producing games internally. So that's the most important part here. If we then go here to the investors page, you get a little bit history lessons, but we have here also watch a video recording the presentation, for example. So I can also click on this. Then we could actually watch those great people, how they present this. So this is, well, that's 1 hour. So I'm leaving this to you to check it out yourself. Maybe if you want me to comment this video because you were interested in Frontier development, because you like this chart and you think there's a generational wealth chance here. So if you think this, I don't think this now personally, then it's probably useful to get there. But we can also get some of the most important information, my friends, directly here from the financial results. So, and therefore we have a quick look. So CEO Johnny Watts and Alex Bevis as CFO. So half year, so making this a little bit bigger for you, that you can see this. So those are the headlines. A solid half year, revenue up 16%, they say here, to 57 million. Now we can actually compare this. So this is the interim results. If I go to the quarterly statement, and we see revenue, so half of the year revenue. All right, so they're counting this then all together. So, all right, okay. First half year of 23. No, it's not even here yet. So, all right. So that probably there in the next. So that's a good question actually. When the next earnings are coming, so they should actually come now. I think in the next month. Financial headlines, revenue up 16%, as I said. So in 2022, it was 49 million. So operating profit was 6.9 million. So with a 12% margin, they say here. Operating loss was 1.3 million. Adjusted EBITDA and outflow of 0.6 million, reflecting continued investment future releases. So they say they continue to invest. So cash was then 42.6 million. That's nice to see. Existing portfolio, our Our develop, launch and nurture model continues to deliver material revenue from each game over many years. Jurassic World Evolution 2 and Planet Zoo are our strongest performers in 23 to date. So, and as I said, Jurassic World Evolution, it's also a game with a lot of DLC, so that's a game that I personally would play. Planet Zoo as well. Formula 1 Manager 2022, first title in a new annual sports franchise released in August, with initial player engagement broadly in line with original expectation. Later sale performance during key holiday seasons price promotions fell material below original expectations. And then Formula 1 Manager remains a good first game, and we will continue to enhance the franchise over coming years. So what they want here, they want to make with the Formula 1 Manager, they want to follow in the steps of like Electronic Arts Codemasters to always develop every year a new one. So that's actually a pretty good business model. So I like this business model in general. From an investor point of view, if people are obviously buying this because they love the Formula 1 so much. So, but here, people were complaining a lot. I remember when people were complaining so much that they stopped this game now, or just to release the next 23 version. So therefore, of course, people then are stopping to buy Formula 1 Manager 22, and then they wait for 23. So we have to see also the numbers for 23. And here I would be extremely interested how many people that bought Formula 1 Manager 2022 bought then the sequel to this title. Foundry, our third-party games label, has supported 8 different titles to date, with 6 released and 2 launching in the next few months. We are assessing our Foundry strategy in light of mixed financial success to date and increased competition in the third-party publishing market. So now we know actually that they discontinued it because they found out, let's make maybe another Formula 1 Manager, let's make another Jurassic World Evolution, maybe just publishing games. Where are those games again? Oh, here, publishing those titles is maybe not the way to go with Deliver Us Mars, Chaos Gate, etc. So I understand this. So, but maybe they didn't have the right games. As a gamer, I have to say, I have just a limited amount of time, and of course, I sometimes buy games that I'm not playing. But majority of gamers, especially now, since money is more tight, are buying just the big games now. They're not buying so many of these games just to have them in their collection. So I think this is a big change now that's coming. So concentrate on the big games that people like the Jurassic World Evolution franchise or the Formula 1 Manager franchise, because people like those manager games. So here we have some cumulative revenue per game charts over the different years. So that's interesting to see. I really like that you can see when the DLC came out, when the Switch version came out, the console edition version came out. So that's Planet Zoo, Odyssey here, Elite. This is Elite. So they're Elite Dangerous, and there you see actually they made over 8 years they made money. So that's pretty cool to see. And the other games obviously are not there yet, especially a Formula 1 Manager. Let's look at the next chart, cumulative cash flow per game. That's also very interesting. Over 8 years, cash flow line Formula 1 Manager includes a full deduction for the substantial development effort required to launch the franchise, including development of underlying franchise technology. Of course, they have to also pay to Formula 1 quite a lot of money. So cumulative cash flow per cumulative cash flow by game. It's not really clear. Is this now in the minus here? Does this mean in the minus, or is it in the positive? So in this case, Formula 1 Manager wouldn't be profitable, if I understand this correctly. So here again we have some numbers. 2/3 of revenue was generated from existing games which had been released before 2022. 1/3 of revenue from new releases. And then PDLC accounted for 30% of total revenue. Is this the catalog? Is this the back catalog? Yeah, I think so. Gross profit margin maintained at 63. So underpinned by the continued contribution from the existing portfolio. So as I said, those interesting numbers, but they're also a little bit old, so I think we can jump over them here. Operating profit, cash flow. As you can see, cash flow. Okay, here we go. So 2022 in May, cash flow goes up. Operating profit, depreciation, amortization. It's a bit confusing, I have to say. They're little graphics, but yeah, you have to count those parts then in. So we can jump over this as well. And okay, here we get some metrics. That's nicely done. So Steam 71%, Open Critic 78, Metacritic. For Formula One Manager, here we see now is the first annual title and major new sport franchise. Over 600,000 units sold today. That's quite a good number. Good engagement from core audience of Formula One fans who are gamers. Less success than expected in reaching a wider audience. So building on a strong core foundation, Formula One Manager 2023 will broaden the audience with more immediate game mode. So yeah, make those games easy. That's how you get the people. So you don't get a gamer like me. I'm not a big strategy gamer, so you don't necessarily get me with a manager game that is complicated. So I don't want to learn anything. I want a game. So that's always important. So on the other hand, I had to say Jurassic World Evolution 1. This was a game that I understood directly how this works, so therefore I loved it. Double launch strategy has been effective with PDLC performing well. DLC is downloadable content, sorry guys. Delivered 73 million of revenue in its first 14 months. That's nice. 96% of the 76 million achieved by Jurassic World Evolution in its first 14 months. Very good. So has sold over 1.8 million base game units to date, and PDLC is scheduled throughout, so different DLCs throughout the whole 2023. So that's a very interesting game. And here the same 3.4 million base game units to date. So those are very strong brands in my opinion. Planet is a very strong brand. Jurassic World Evolution, very strong brand. Good games. You see also on Steam 90%. 85%, so a lot of people like those games. Of course, then we have Warhammer Age of Sigmar real-time strategy game. So this is games that people that like Warhammer games like, obviously. So then we have nurturing, expanding our internally developed portfolio, consolidating on our long track record of success in the creative management simulation genre. So they want to continue here on the success. All have delivered material annual revenue contribution through our develop, launch, and nurture model. Total cumulative revenue from those 4 titles alone is approaching £400 million. And they say each of these titles has delivered strong and growing returns on investment and expanding into adjacent genres. We will continue to expand into genres adjacent to the creative management simulation genre. Our first self-published title, Elite Dangerous, is a good example of this, where we identified a gap in the space simulation genre and delivered a sophisticated and engaging game which evolved and expanded over time. We have just entered the annual management simulation sports genre, and then recent sales, so we had this done already. Portfolio mix, here they talk again, a portfolio mix of those different games. And then here again, the strategy. We started Foundry in summer 2019 with the signing of experienced developer Heyminon Games based in Bulgaria. So, but this obviously didn't work out. So they pulled out of this strategy. Our people, that's how many people work there. I don't know how many people work at the moment here. And then acquisition can provide growth acceleration opportunities for both our human resources and portfolio. And they were first acquisition was Complex Games, developer of Warhammer Chaos Gate in November 2022. Therefore, probably also the cash flow. The big hole in the cash flow that we have seen before, or investment, sorry. Delivering on fiscal year 23 and setting ourselves up for growth in financial year 24 and beyond. So outlook, reset guidance. We reset our guidance for 23 in response to lower sales. So this was very negative. Obviously, stock was falling then. A more challenging economic outlook, blah, blah, blah. And then for 23 revenue of not less than 100 million, with the potential remaining to surpass 114 million. And then operating profit range 2 million to 10 million pounds. So we set expectation for 24 revenue growth of 5% above the eventual revenue outcome for 23 in light of current market and portfolio uncertainties and the absence of new titles from Foundry releasing in for 24. Focus areas for the cycle 23 will be so make Formula 1 Manager 23 a more accessible game that appeals to a wider audience. Optimize release timing, launch strategy for the game, deliver and launch a successful real-time strategy game with Warhammer Age of Sigmar RTS, and I think I've seen this at the Games Convention. Complete our review of Foundry, that's what they did. They stopped it, continue to develop and grow our people, increase our focus on return on investment across all activities, so that's very important. Continue to plan and develop our games for release in future financial years, and that's it, guys. So, though now you're saying, my God, Mr. Orange, so this sounds so terrible. This sounds so terrible. Why are you putting even more money in this company? So, well, first of all, I mean, if you're following my update video, so at the moment I have 408 pounds in it, 408 pounds. That's around about around about 120 shares. So that's not a lot. It's also a little bit more difficult to buy them, honestly, at the London Stock Exchange. So, but as I also told you, so I plan to buy some more because now comes the reason. So overall, we are, if you look at all the other gaming companies, if you compare it with all the other gaming companies, so we are down in all the gaming companies, so except probably Activision Blizzard, but you know the reason for this. So we are down in a lot of, in the whole sector. The whole sector is down at the moment. So but this might also change at what point. So first of all, this changes. So, and this is my overall strategy for the gaming companies, that I think this changes when I invest, for example, in gaming companies like Starbreeze or Digital Bros or Ubisoft especially. So this is because I think times will get better. And then actually I think the Jurassic Park Evolution series, the Elite Dangerous series, and also the Planet Zoo games, I think those are strong franchises, and they can, if they concentrate on those games, they can actually become much more profitable again and increase profit margin and revenue overall. So all of this is, in my opinion, possible. And then you see, I mean, there's so much negativity now, and I have the feeling, so at the moment, so I'm not just buying now into the falling knife, as people say. I'm waiting to see some improvements, but I don't see this improvement in the share price at the moment. So, but I would say if we fall to something like 300, let's see, 300, it's around about here. So then we still there would be a chance that we make a leg down and go like to 200 pence, but 300 I think is already in a direction that's very interesting. So obviously I don't know if the PE ratio here is live updated on the numbers with regards to the chart, so that's always a little bit difficult to see, especially here. So yeah, and overall you see also revenue is growing, but probably when the new numbers are coming out, and they don't tell us when the next numbers are coming out, that's a little bit annoying here that I don't see this here. But if the new numbers coming out, then we should definitely see a bit more volume in the stock, and then we might also see in which direction the price could develop. So if you're interested in the stock, do your own research, of course. I hope I could help you a little bit with the overall understanding of this company. And then, of course, I would say it's always better at the moment to wait a bit more, wait and see, because I bought, for example, a little bit too early. Therefore, I'm waiting now a bit more in this sense. So, all right, guys. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.